could former President Donald Trump face an indictment this week and possibly be arrested tomorrow. Still a lot of questions and a lot of growing interest, of course, in this story as we watch all of this unfold. We want to go out live now to Fox 5 Linda Schmidt, who's joining us live from Manhattan with more on this. Linda, you're in New York, you're in Manhattan. What are you seeing there today? Protests? What's the reaction from people on the grounds there?
Yeah, hi there, Lexie. Well, first of all, the watch is definitely on here in New York to see what is going to transpire this week. You know, over the weekend, Donald Trump coming out and urging his supporters to protest and to take back our country. Now, in the meantime, what is believed to be the final witnesses in this case, they testified before the grand jury. Now we have to wait and see what comes next.
Give everything to the grand jurors. Let them see exactly who Michael Cohen is.
Robert Costello testified before a Manhattan grand jury that is deciding whether to indict Donald Trump. Costello once served as a legal advisor for Trump's longtime personal lawyer and fixer, Michael Cohen. That is, until they had a falling out. Cohen pleaded guilty in connection to hush money payments to porn actress Stormy Daniels, as well as a model, which he says were directed by Donald Trump. Cohen testified before the grand jury twice last week. Costello says Cohen is an unreliable witness because he is a liar.
He went to jail, and now he's on the revenge tour. I understand it, but I don't condone it. And that's why I went in there today, to tell these people the truth about who the real Michael Cohen is.
In the final days of the 2016 presidential campaign, Cohen paid Daniels $130,000 to stay quiet about her alleged affair with Trump. The Trump organization later reimbursed Cohen, logging the money as legal expenses. However, falsifying business records is illegal. The NYPD and Secret Service now coordinating security in the event Trump is indicted and arrested. Metal barriers already placed around the courthouse.
We're monitoring comments on social media, and the NYPD is doing their normal role of making sure that there's no inappropriate actions in the city. And we're confident we're going to be able to do that.
About 24 Trump supporters gathered outside Manhattan Criminal Court to protest the case brought by District Attorney Alvin Bragg.
We need Alvin Bragg to get back to doing his job, drop the witch hunt on Donald Trump.
I do think it's mostly a political persecution. I think they are trying to get him any possible way they can.
If he's arrested tomorrow, then he's going to win in a landslide.
Now, the NYPD also telling us today they are well prepared to handle whatever rallies or protests might happen this week. Lexie?
All right, Linda, thanks so much for that update as we continue to follow this story. And as we continue along talking about this, we also want to talk about if Trump is indicted, what will happen next? So many people have questions about this, especially if this is a former president in this type of unprecedented situation. For more on this, we also want to go out to our other colleague at Fox 5, Arthur Chien, who's joining us live here this evening. Arthur, thanks for being with us. I mean, how does this bring about potentially any complications with this being a former president?
Yeah, Lexie, you said it. It is very complicated, and there is a lot of sort of provocative images that are being pictured right now. This is in large part because the president himself has stoked it, declaring on social media over the weekend that he would be arrested this week. Now, some then picture the former president being handcuffed and walked off of his Florida property. But as we speak to experts that we deal with tonight here in New York, it seems that is not how it would go down.
I highly doubt that they're going to have him in handcuffs walking out the front door at his home in Florida.
Law enforcement experts tell Fox 5 that if Donald Trump is criminally charged by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, what happens next will resemble how high-profile celebrity cases are handled, where the suspect is notified and turns himself in.
They would arrange for Donald Trump to have a location to be fingerprinted and have his mugshot taken, and then he would go into a courtroom, stand in front of the judge, and then say not guilty.
Arthur Aidala was senior assistant district attorney in Brooklyn. He says if the case goes forward, authorities in New York will reach out to Trump's attorney and schedule a time for him to surrender. Trump already has a lawyer in line, and with Secret Service protecting him, they will be notified as well. Experts say if Trump comes to New York to be processed at the Manhattan District Attorney's office at 1 Hogan Place, the scene would be unlike any other, drawing crowds of both supporters and counter-protesters.
I'm hoping that they've got to avoid any craziness that may happen if this does come to fruition, and who wants to see riots and people going crazy with him walking out the front door in handcuffs?
And more than just a potential crowd control nightmare, some worry about the safety of those inside and outside the courthouse.
Everyone looks at what happened on January 6th, and with the president saying, protest and take back our nation. I think many of us who worked down in that area of Manhattan,
Well, there is yet another possibility here where we could avoid the spectacle in New York. Some of the experts we spoke with talk about the possibility of teleconferencing. So Donald Trump could stay in Florida until a future court date. But right now, nobody knows how this will play out simply because we've never seen a case quite like this before. Lexie.
Yeah, and going off of that, Arthur, I mean, what is the mood there, in the community as well as just in the newsroom? I mean, everyone's heads are turning with the possibility of this news right now.
Well, New York is a very complex place. There are pockets that are both blue and there are pockets that are red. So this is certainly something that is a topic of discussion. And nobody really knows what the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is going to do. That can't be emphasized enough. Even though this is before a grand jury right now, whatever they return, it is still up to his office to decide what to do with that. And so nobody really knows, but certainly everybody, whether it's in our newsroom or a lot of New Yorkers, are paying attention to this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. Fox 5's Arthur Chien joining us here on Live Now from Fox. Great reporting, Arthur.
Thank you.
Okay, and we do want to take you out now to where we heard from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis earlier today as well, speaking on the possibility of this indictment. His remarks, let's listen in.
So I've seen rumors swirl. I have not seen any facts yet, and so I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this, the Manhattan District Attorney is a Soros-funded prosecutor. And so he, like other Soros-funded prosecutors, they weaponize their office to impose a political agenda on society at the expense of the rule of law and public safety. He has downgraded over 50% of the felonies to misdemeanors. He says he doesn't want to even have jail time for the vast, vast majority of crimes. And what we've seen in Manhattan is we've seen the crime rate go up, and we've seen citizens become less safe. And so you're talking about this situation with, and look, I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to is that if you have a prosecutor who is ignoring crimes happening every single day in his jurisdiction, and he chooses to go back many, many years ago to try to use something about porn star hush money payments, that's an example of pursuing a political agenda and weaponizing the office. And I think that that's fundamentally wrong. I also think it's important to point out when you're talking about these Soros-funded prosecutors, yes, they may do a high-profile politicized prosecution, and that's bad, but the real victims are ordinary New Yorkers, ordinary Americans in all these different jurisdictions, that they get victimized every day because of the reckless political agenda that these Soros DAs bring to their job. They ignore crime and they empower criminals, and that hurts people, hurts a lot of people every single day. These Soros district attorneys are a menace to society, and I'm just glad that I'm the only governor in the country that's actually removed one from office during my tenure. And in terms of, we are not involved in this, won't be involved in this. I have no interest in getting involved in some type of manufactured circus by some Soros DA, okay? He's trying to do a political spectacle. He's trying to virtue signal for his base. I've got real issues I got to deal with here in the state of Florida. We're obviously shutting down CBDC, which is important. We've got so many things pending in front of the legislature. I've got to spend my time on issues that actually matter to people. I can't spend my time worrying about things of that nature. So we're not going to be involved in it anyway. I'm fighting for Floridians, and I'm fighting back against Biden. That's what I do every single day.
Okay, so that was Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, of course, potential possible presidential rival for former President Trump as well, who is running again in 2024. So a lot of developing pieces here to this story as everyone's eyes are glued to what happens next. If what Trump had put out on social media over the weekend does turn out to be true, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Could potentially be a very big day in the news world.